Thanks to the away draw with Udinese, 1-1, in the match of the 33rd round of the Italian Serie A, Napoli became the Italian champion of the 2022/2023 season ahead of schedule, ahead of the nearest pursuer, Lazio, by 16 points in 5 rounds before the end of the season. This championship title was the third in history for the Neapolitans and the first since the 1989/1990 season, when the legendary Argentinian Diego Maradona was the leader of the team. The Parthenopeans won the first title of Italian champions in the 1986/1987 season. From 1990 to the current season, Napoli has won 4 trophies, 3 Italian Cups and 1 Italian Super Cup. The team was closest to the scudetto in the 2017/2018 season. Then Napoli, led by Maurizio Sarri, took second place, losing to Juventus by 4 points. PSG striker Lionel Messi may terminate his contract agreement with the club in the coming days, Transfer News Live reported on Twitter with reference to Le Parisien. According to the source, the Argentine striker may leave the club within the next 10 days. Earlier it was reported that Messi no longer wants to play for PSG after being suspended for 2 weeks for visiting Saudi Arabia. At the same time, it was noted that the head coach of the club, Christophe Galtier, is not against involving the Argentine in the upcoming matches. Recall that Messi most likely will not renew his contract with PSG. A number of clubs in Saudi Arabia and Barcelona are showing interest in the footballer. Newcastle management is interested in signing PSG star winger Neymar, 90 Minutes reports. According to the source, the Magpies are considering a possible purchase of the Brazilian as a reinforcement for the Champions League. The bosses of the English club want to add star power to the squad. Newcastle are also exploring the possibility of acquiring Al Nassr striker Cristiano Ronaldo, but head coach Eddie Howe believes that the 38-year-old Portuguese is not suitable for the team. Luciano Spalletti became the oldest coach who managed to win the Italian championship, according to Optapaolo's Twitter account. The specialist won the championship with Napoli at the age of 64 years and 58 days. Recall that on May 4, the Neapolitans drew with Udinese on the road, 1-1, and became champions of Italy ahead of schedule for 5 rounds before the end of the season. It should be noted that Spalletti won the national championship for the 3rd time in his career. The first 2 titles were won with Zenit St. Petersburg, in the 2010 season and in the 2011/2012 season. Chelsea have been negotiating for 2 months to sign Southampton midfielder Romeo Lavia, Football Insider reports. The London club expects to acquire a 19-year-old football player in the summer for about €51 million, although the Belgian's contract with the Saints is for another 4 years. There is a clause in Lavia's agreement that allows Manchester City to buy out their former player for a specified amount in the summer of 2024. Clubs are now using this price as leverage to sign the midfielder this year. As the Saints will not be able to demand a higher payment when the clause comes into effect next summer. Bayern and Liverpool are going to compete for Fulham midfielder João Paulinho this summer. Fulham will demand at least €55 million for their player, according to Football Insider. According to the source, Bayern are ready to join the race to sign the 27-year-old midfielder after a personal meeting with him that took place last month. It is also reported that Liverpool continues to show interest in Paulinho after his outstanding debut season in England and will be ready to compete for a football player with Munich. At the same time, Fulham head coach Marco Silva hopes to keep Paulinho at Craven Cottage. The head coach of Bayer Xabi Alonso commented on the rumors that Tottenham would like to see him in charge of the team next season. "I have been in football for many years. Rumors are fine, but we still have a lot to achieve. So mentally I am 100% here for these final months of the season. In addition, mentally I am 100% here for the next season," Alonso is quoted by the British edition of the Daily Mail. The 41-year-old Spanish specialist took charge of Bayer in October last year. Under his leadership, the Leverkusen club rose from 15th to 6th place in the Bundesliga standings. Bayer also made it to the semi-finals of the Europa League, where they will play with Italian Roma. The Barcelona management intends to resume negotiations with Fiorentina on the purchase of the Violets midfielder Sofian Amrabat, as reports. According to the source, the head coach of the Catalans Xavi is concerned about the lack of a quality player in the support zone in the team. According to rumors, Sergio Busquets and Frank Kessier may leave Blaugrana in the summer. It is reported that Barcelona expects to buy the 26-year-old Moroccan at a reasonable price, as Amrabat's contract with the Violets is coming to an end. Liverpool intends to intercept 2 transfer goals from Manchester United at once. We are talking about midfielders Frankie de Jong and Alexis McAllister, reports Sport Bible. According to the source, the bosses of the Red Devils have been considering options for strengthening the midfield for a long time. Erik ten Hag is a big fan of Frankie de Jong's game. Also, the mentor of the Mancunians sees a prospect in signing McAllister. However, Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp intends to compete for these players, as his main transfer targets are unlikely to join the Merseysiders this summer. Jude Bellingham is likely to move to Real Madrid, and Mason Mount is likely to extend his contract with Chelsea.